Coming up on this edition of the Newsfeed, Virginia Tech is renovating elevators and wheelchair ramps in major buildings. Reporter Tareem Alam takes a look at what that means for disabled individuals. Plus, with online classes, many Hokies opted to live at home this semester. Reporter Noah Butler checks in with them to see how it's going. And Hokie Bugfest is back, but this year on Zoom. Reporter Evan McNally tells us where to find the creepy crawlies online. These stories and more are just ahead. Hello, and thanks for joining us for this edition of the Newsfeed. I'm Kai Young. Virginia Tech's yearly construction projects often persist throughout the academic calendar. Major Williams is one of those buildings undergoing repairs for both entryway access and elevator use. Recently, however, memories of the community have brought to light what these projects mean for disabled individuals and ADA-compliant workspaces. Newsfeed reporter Tareem Alam has more in this next story.
The elevator in Major Williams is closed for 6 weeks, and while this might seem like nothing more than a slight inconvenience for some people, for others it means not being able to access their offices or even other parts of campus. Those with disabilities will typically use the elevator as a shortcut to get to other places in and out of the building. Major Williams is a key point for people with disabilities, as the areas in and out of the building lack accessible pathways. Ashley Hsu said the elevator shutdown puts a strain between disabled employees and their jobs, classes, and time.
I know a professor on the 5th floor who can't get up and down stairs, right? That's where his office is, and there wasn't a lot of warning given that the elevator was going to be out.
Martina Swantek, a doctoral student researching disability, said that both newer and older buildings on campus have serious accessibility issues as well.
So we are constantly bringing up issues of access, and we are constantly having the relationships we build around these ideas dissolve.
Hsu notes that there is a larger issue at hand at the university: conscious planning.
Sometimes I feel like the battles we're fighting at Virginia Tech are very symbolic, right? We're speaking to larger structures and about what people are forgetting to plan for.
For now, Virginia Tech community members will have to wait and see how the university responds. Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Tareem Alam.
Coffee shops have become increasingly important in our society as places to work and socialize. However, COVID-19 shifted the ways Blacksburg shops operate, and connecting with someone over coffee now looks slightly different. Mill Mountain, Bolos, and Adego Coffee, to name a few, have all adapted differently to the threats of coronavirus. Adego's space downtown has no indoor seating available, but customers can order and pick up from a table positioned in one of their doors. Bolos Bakery and Cafe only has 2 benches of indoor seating, but currently has spacious outdoor seating. Mill Mountain has opened up their indoor space entirely, allowing customers to take off their masks while they're seated.
A lot of people are afraid to come out and get in close contact with a lot of strangers. So it's still slower, and it'll stay slower until who knows when.
Despite these changes, loyal customers continue bringing business to Blacksburg coffee shops. Their indoor spaces may look different, but they're still serving the local community with caffeine and conversation. In other local business news, Sinkland Farms' annual Pumpkin Festival has been a staple in the fall in the New River Valley for almost 30 years. Because of the COVID-19 crisis, the Pumpkin Festival will look a little different due to social distancing, but the farm is determined to continue its long-standing tradition. Abiding by the social distancing laws, Sinkland Farms will only be allowing 1,000 people on the farm at a time. Additionally, the farm has implemented food, ice cream, and beverage trucks that will allow visitors to enjoy fall treats while still obeying the social distancing rules. And of course, everyone at the farm is required to wear a mask at all times.
I've spent thousands of dollars on cashier shields, on masks to give to individuals who don't come with masks, gloves for my staff, sanitation stands, extra porta potties with hand washing stations, and sanitizer post as well.
As an outdoor facility, Sinkland Farms is able to follow the Virginia recommended guidelines. The Sinkland Farms crew expresses their commitment to the health and safety of their employees and customers during the pandemic. They are glad that the tradition will not end this year. In an attempt to slow the spread of the virus, many universities have changed their large in-person classes to online. This way, students won't have to come to campus as often, and the university can adhere to the CDC's guidelines on large crowds. Because of this, some students only have classes that are online and have decided to move back to their hometown and complete the semester while living at home again. Newsfeed reporter Noah Butler joins us from the newsroom with more on this story. Noah?
The fall semester is well underway at universities across the country, but some campuses are missing some students. With the coronavirus pandemic continuing to spread and classes being moved from in-person to online learning, some students have not returned to campus over concerns of the coronavirus and for financial reasons.
Online classes have been one of the many changes Virginia Tech and other universities have made to try to slow the spread of COVID-19. Without the necessity to travel to campus to attend class, some students question whether it's worth it to live in their college town at all. Adelaide Parker, a Virginia Tech senior, is one student who decided to stay at home for the fall semester.
I like it. I think this has been like my favorite semester of college, which is really weird to say, but it's like I just enjoy being home, so yeah.
Adelaide has settled into a new routine that includes schoolwork, her internship, and a regular workout session with a personal trainer that's made these past few months a great experience, despite her class environments being less than ideal.
The work just kind of seems tedious and just kind of like, it's not really, like I know if we were in person, it's not what we would be doing at all.
Caitlin Harris, a sophomore at Longwood University, has had a more negative experience working from home.
I have a lot more work, even though I'm learning like the same curriculum, and I feel like I'm not even learning, I'm just doing the work that's assigned to me, and I'm not really retaining any information.
Caitlin said she's getting through this semester by working a new job at Publix and with a little help from her dog.
Even though these students have had different experiences around working from home, they both hope to return to their respective campuses in the spring semester of 2021. The uncertainty surrounding the coronavirus leads to uncertainty surrounding the future of in-person classes and whether or not they'll be able to return. Regardless, both students are doing their best to make the best of the unfortunate situation many students find themselves in these days. I'm Noah Butler, reporting for the Newsfeed.
Thanks, Noah. Just ahead on the newsfeed, COVID-19 has slowed down a lot of things, but not falling in love. After the break, we'll take a look at the way the pandemic has changed wedding planning. And if you like seeing spiders in your house, you'll love Hokey Bug Fest. We'll take a look at the event's move to Zoom. That story and more after this break.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to the newsfeed. I'm Kai Young. Virginia Tech's Department of Entomology is celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Hokie Bug Fest. This year, it'll look a bit different due to the coronavirus. Newsfeed reporter Evan McNally has more.
Maureen Savero works closely with the Virginia Tech Entomology Department to create 3D models of bugs. The process is called photogrammetry. It involves taking hundreds of photos from every possible angle to create a vivid 3D image.
And we started to really get some momentum with the entomology department. They were really interested, and because otherwise their specimens are just kind of sitting in boxes forever. So we wanted to find a way to make them accessible online.
The models were a big hit at last year's Hokie Bug Fest, and they're back for a second year. Normally, these exhibits take up 3 floors here at Squires Student Center, and the event even spills out onto College Avenue. This year, it will all be online. The event that attracts thousands of children every year is a 10-day virtual event on HokieBugFest.com from October 7th to 17th.
I think what's going to happen is that we are going to discover a lot of new ways and new features of BugFest that we will continue even when we go live in the future. I think there's going to be several things that we do this year that are going to be highly successful that we're not going to want to let go of.
Going online allows the BugFest to expand beyond the New River Valley.
We got an entry from Brazil, which was bizarre. It was a Lego bug, but it was from, that was amazing. I mean, I looked it up and I'm like, how did they find out? So yeah, pretty cool stuff.
Reporting for the newsfeed, I'm Evan McNally.
Amid the coronavirus pandemic, engaged couples had to make the difficult decision whether to postpone their weddings or to continue the festivities with extreme cautions in place. Although some have chosen to push back their special day, many couples have decided to proceed with a COVID wedding. Newsfeed reporter Jillian Smith has the story.
Couples plan for months, even years, to ensure that their wedding day is everything that they've hoped for. However, no matter how long you plan, you can never truly be prepared for a pandemic. Brides and grooms across the country are now scrambling to make their wedding day possible given the current circumstances. Bride-to-be Corey Murray had been planning for almost a year before she realized that COVID would impact her wedding day. She and her fiancé have now had to significantly alter their wedding plans to follow the venue's guidelines.
They are requiring everyone to wear masks at all times unless they're eating or drinking, just the same rules that most restaurants apply. They have massive tubs of hand sanitizer like on every table or surface around like the entire venue. They are requiring everyone to be socially distanced even at tables.
Other couples have decided to forego their dream wedding entirely and instead have a micro wedding with only immediate family and close friends. Elizabeth Robb, who attended her sister's wedding in May, was one of 10 guests, most of whom she already lived with.
Honestly, I didn't worry about it because it was just my family. Because it was such a small wedding, it didn't feel unsafe because those were the people I live with.
Even though COVID-19 has the potential to derail a wedding entirely, couples are still finding safe and enjoyable ways to celebrate their big day with the ones that they love. Reporting from the newsfeed, I'm Jillian Smith.
That will wrap up this edition of the newsfeed. If you have a story idea for the newsfeed, let us know. Send an email at thenewsfeednrv@gmail.com. And as always, you can connect with the newsfeed on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching. I'm Kai Young.